Gemini.
Hello Gemini, this is your astrological forecast for June 2016. And so, how did May work out for you with all of those retrogrades going on? 5 out of the 8 planets going on. So yes, it has really been a time where things have been slowing down for all of us, but always for a reason. And it gives us time to go back over, reflect, redo, retweak those things. It's not always that we should be pushing forward at all times, because then there's so many important elements that might get lost or along the roadside because we don't always have the time and the expansion of being able to go in and work all those things. So this is a time to work over the past. People, places, situations, and so forth. Maybe even opportunities that came and went because you didn't have time to deal with it. Maybe now you can look into it. Do a little bit more deeper research, and that's something that you're really good about doing anyway, Gemini. And what's beautiful here now is that the Sun, Venus, and the new moon is in your first house this month, and happy birthday. It is your birthday month. And so for you, I'm seeing that you've just completed a 12-month cycle and you're ready to flap your wings and get going here with that burst of energy, regardless of the retrogrades. The Sun, Venus, and new moon here in this area. The Sun is the essence of who you are. Venus is that Venetian, beautiful energy now that's just going to be streaming out of you here. And for women, and for men too, by all means. But this is a time when that beautiful energy of Venus is being transmitted out towards the world, meaning you are at the most charming here at this time of the year for you. The new moon is here on the 4th, 14 degrees in Gemini. So any planets also that you have at this degree, anywhere in your chart, will be affected by the new moon. And the new moon is always when we place our new intentions for what we want to obtain later down the road within the coming month, or also it lasts for a whole year until the new moon comes back to your sign next year. So great time to kind of mark it off on your calendar, to set a little time aside to meditate or at least contemplate what it is you want to see happen in your future. Then we have here Mars, which is currently cruising in your 6th house. Day-to-day routine. Mars being retrograde, you might feel that some of that motivation, some of that physical energy, say if you were always running to the gym, very, very active, you might not feel like that fully quite yet, because Mars in this area of your health and your workout day-to-day routine, you might just feel that it's slowing down. Maybe your body is feeling it wants something else, just wanting to chill on the sofa, watching a few movies. Great, then do that. Mars is just wanting to reboot its, recharge its batteries, so to speak. So taking on any big new things right now would not probably be the best time, and it will be retrograde to that of June 28th or 29th, depending on where you live. So July will be a much better month to be physically active or whatnot. Now in the workspace around you, co-workers, there could be some maybe disagreements, or I won't say negative influences, but when we have retrograde, it's looking back to the past here, that if there's been any differences among you, that this can resurface at this time, and it's resurfacing so that it will give you a chance to work it out, to clear it away so that you can be up and running there in July. So don't be surprised if that should happen. Jupiter went direct there on May 9th or 10th, depending on where you live in the world. And Jupiter is always that planet that gives us enthusiasm and hope and joy and expansion and abundance, right? And so we're so happy to see that she is now moving forward, bringing you along with her to start spreading your wings, feeling that there is still hope in the world. It's been retrograde since that from New Year. And for you, your Jupiter is in the 4th house. So when it's been retrograding here, it has had to do with family, family members, family situation, your roots, your grounds, real estate too. So now is a better time to sell if you have been feeling that selling has been very slow. You will see that Jupiter is upping things. However though, we still have those other planets retrograde. So if you're really wanting to have a good profit, if you're thinking of selling, I would wait to autumn if I were you, but that's totally up to you. Jupiter is direct here, but you're wanting to have Mars action. You want Saturn to come in. That has to do with conclusive contracts. That would be from August 12th onwards. So I would say anytime from mid-August would be a much, much better time. But if you need to, well, at least Jupiter is on your side looking out for you. And then we have Saturn, like I said, here moving through your area of the 7th house, retrograde to August 12th or 13th, depending on where you live. Saturn in your relationship house, slowing things down between you and your partner, allowing you both to work through and get on the same page with long-term goals. Now, that doesn't have to be your partner as far as like your significant other. It could be partners that you work with too. So this is a time to dive deeply in, discuss, negotiate, renegotiate, tweak, improve things, think ahead, think long-term, but not necessarily to initiate or start. You want to wait for that till that of September 1st onwards. If you have to earlier, I'd say August 15th, but between now and then, it's all about just getting it together here so that magic can happen down the road. Then we have Uranus is direct, moving ahead here in your 11th house for hopes and dreams. That is good. Dream up a big storm. It's good to dream. You just don't want to initiate when the others are retrograde. But I'm seeing here that there could be some flashes of insight there mid-month. We will come to that, back to that a little bit later. And then Neptune here retrograde in your area of career. And it will be retrograde until November 20th. So this is a time where things might slow down if you've been hopefully waiting for some promotion. If you're lucky, that can still happen. It doesn't mean that everything is shut down. It just means that the process is that much slower. So be patient. And then we have Pluto also retrograde to September 26th, which is in your 8th house for shared resources, money matters that you have with your significant other or any partners you're affiliated with. So royalties and commissions, inheritances, all that can now also slow down until August. So summertime this year, it's more to chill, do what you have to do, and then just back off. Don't push ahead. It might just wear you out. There's times when we just do so much, but it's like treading water, getting nowhere. So we're extending all that extra energy. You don't have to do that right now. It's more a time to reflect, okay? Catch up with the past. But then we have here, as we start off on the top of the month, we want to pay attention to communication here, Gemini. And of course, communication is a big thing here for you. Since you're the ruler of communication. The Sun and Venus here both are going to be squaring off on Neptune. That can give some bursted illusions. There might be miscommunications. Maybe somebody's saying something and you're hearing it in a different way. Or maybe you're saying something and they're hearing it in a different way. There's like cross wires going here. We don't really want to see that we're creating a foundation of bursted hopes and expectations, right? So whenever in doubt, do verify with whoever you're talking to. Because on the 3rd, whatever that miscommunication could have been about, the Sun and Venus, both those same two planets that was squaring off on Neptune, is now opposing Saturn. And Saturn is always karma. It's like, here we go, you know, confrontation coming up where you said, he said, she said, whatever. So that's going to clear itself out there on the 3rd. On the 9th, Mercury, which again is communication, is going to be opposing Mars. So your mind might be going off in this direction and your physical actions in that direction. So you might feel yourself a little stressed, not necessarily just between a rock and a hard place, but kind of being pulled in both directions. So it's important that we pay attention and focus, especially in traffic and so forth, when we have this kind of energy going on. On the 12th and 14th, we have a little break because June here seems to hold a lot of tests upon us this month. But on the 12th, we have Venus and Uranus coming together here in a sextile aspect. That's between the first house, that is you, and the 11th house of hopes and dreams. Uranus can always bring the unexpected. So this is a beautiful time to go out, have fun, maybe meet somebody or hear from somebody you haven't heard from a long time in the area of friendships. On the 14th, the same is valid. Also the first house to the 11th. So again, it's you and friendships, hopes and dreams coming together. Then on the 17th, straight through the 20th, we have a little bit of touchy grounds. And I want to mention that because it's not just individually, you and I, but everybody else globally as well. So we might come to hear some global news taking place. Saturn, the governments, either our own inner sense of authority, or it could be the governments, squaring off on Neptune. So there's something here that is not just falling apart, but being challenged. And especially also because on the 20th, Mercury will be opposing Saturn and squaring off on Neptune, the same situation as the 17th, meaning we're going to hear a lot about it. So hopefully it's not something big around the world. We do know politically things are a little tense and whatnot, but those are special days. And in our own personal lives, we have to look at what we need to deal with as far as that goes. Then we have on the 20th, also we have the full moon, 14 degrees going on here. No, I'm sorry, 29 degrees, excuse me. On the 20th, 29 degrees in Sagittarius, which is the last degrees in your 7th house of love and relationships. So this is the area that will be illuminated. It is on the cusp to the 8th house. So this could be you, your partner, speaking about what it is you want mutually and how you can share things mutually. So it's a very intimate area of your chart there on this full moon. And then we come to the end of the month here, Gemini, where Jupiter, which is now moving directly again, having picked up some speed, beautifully aligning with a golden beam to Pluto, which is that pivotal point of transformation. For you, that Pluto is in the 8th house for shared resources, for intimacy as well. Jupiter coming in here, 4th house, so that can have to do with home, family matters, but it's also the foundation of your life. So I could see how things here, maybe it's a family reunion. In that case, it should be extremely positive for all of you included. If you're looking to sell your property, as we mentioned early on in the reading, well then this could be a day you could receive some good news. Or if you're refinancing, since it's the 8th house for loans and so forth as well. Great time to do that. Venus and Neptune as well, a beautiful golden beam on the 27th. So both those 2 days are just going to really open up and feeling that things are again flowing after a month where there's been a little touch and go and a lot of, I'd like to say, testing and perhaps challenges for many of you. So this is what we have, but I would say listen to your Taroscope for June, giving you a whole extra set of information of what you can expect, especially since we have these kind of transits going on. It might just shed a whole lot more light on what you can come to expect this month. But listen here, Gemini, it's always good to speak with you, and I will see you in July.